I'm telling you, before this early in the season, I remember telling you guys, man, this can we have a conversation about the Knicks potentially making the Eastern Conference Finals? Like it was rolling around New York radio, and I started to convince myself on this topic. And now, after beating the Cavs and Miami knocking off the Bucks, this all seems more likely because there wasn't one team in the Eastern Conference that the Knicks did not have success from off of. We can beat anybody. Nobody was that scary in the Eastern Conference this time around. I'm just saying, yo, the Knicks are making noise. This is a hell of a year to be a Knicks fan. I've said it for a long time that this is a team with direction, and you can see it. I love after game two and all the slander on RJ Barrett. He couples that with a good game three, good game four, good game five. Steps up big. Julius Randle goes down, and we still Obi Toppin shows up. And Obi's making shots from three. I think he's probably our best three-point shooter in the playoffs so far, percentage-wise, or second best. But one thing that I really want to give credit to is Tibbs. In game four, when Julius Randle was just not looking great at all, he pulls him instead of keeping him out on the floor. That was the biggest test. And that's one thing, it hit me. It hit me right there in that moment. I was like, John, Tibbs made the adjustment that you said he couldn't. He made the adjustment.
He didn't pull up.
He pulled the guy that was the cancer on the floor at the moment, and the team started to roll. And I'm telling you, this Knicks team is special. We look different. There's no team that they're afraid of. Our depth is the best in the NBA. In the NBA, yep. Brandon, you can make that face. We have the best bench in the league. I believe it. We got the sixth man of the year. Isaiah Hartenstein's playing out of his mind. Quentin Grimes isn't back yet.
He should have won. But keep going, Justin. Talk that shit about Obi Toppin, Justin. Justin, what are you saying about Obi Toppin? Because he's looking pretty good right now. No, what were you saying before?
In the beginning of the year,
that wasn't getting minutes last year. He is nice right now.
Obi Toppin has always been nice. He just hasn't had the minutes to actually show it.
Yeah, Tibbs doesn't trust young players at all.
And you know what? I think the Knicks have three starters coming off the bench. Justin, I don't disagree with you at all because Obi will be a starter on many teams, I think, in the right system. Isaiah Hartenstein's been one of the best backup bigs in the league. Look, man, Jared Allen was an all-star last season, and he had 4 rebounds in 36 minutes last night. In the first 3 minutes of action, Mitchell Robinson had 4 offensive rebounds. If you want to take it a step further, RJ Barrett, who's played, exceedingly well after he made a video talking about why they should bench him, has been getting where he's comfortable, his left hand downhill. And what Tom Thibodeau really preached to him is that, RJ, we can't have you settling for looks where you're not comfortable. You're not a spot-up shooter. I think another thing they've really tried to implement is more guard-on-guard screens. Now, guard-on-guard screens are not this new revelation. They've been around for many, many years. But what that's done, it's allowed RJ Barrett to get downhill as the screener, and it's tougher for a guard to defend that action because now if there's a little bit of miscommunication, now you're freeing up Jalen Brunson to get downhill. And consequently, RJ Barrett's getting downhill alongside him. So I like that slight adjustment by Tom Thibodeau, helping the Knicks offense not be atrocious, but enough to win the series. Because this Cavaliers series was not pretty by either side. I mean, both teams did not play up to their standard, especially the Cavs. But ultimately, the Knicks won close games. This series could have won to 7 games, and it could have won either way. But I felt like the Knicks were simply the more experienced, gritty, and deeper team. And their pace and offensive rebounding won them the series. I mean, that last night they had 17 offensive rebounds. Most teams don't average more than 8 or 9. And then the Cavaliers had 4. There you go. That's how you lose a series like that. Unbelievable. I can't get over how bad they looked. I cannot get over the fact they literally did not play Isaac Okoro to start the second quarter when he was 2 for 2. But you know what? They're done. They're eliminated for a reason. The Knicks are on the final 8.
I love this one quote that Josh Hart, he was mic'd up for game 4. So he goes up to Mitch later in the game. By this point, the Knicks were already rolling. And he tells Mitch, you grab regular rebounds, I grab the rebounds that break teams. And they did that. They definitely did.
The thing with the Knicks this season, especially against this Cavs team, I severely overlooked the fact that I wanted to look at the defense behind 2 guards that are cones on the defensive end. That is inexcusable at this point because if you had a wing that you could keep on the floor consistently that was producing offensively that could guard him, that wouldn't be a problem. You don't, though. So now Jalen Brunson is over here having a party against freaking Cedi Osman. And then you look at the back, Evan Mobley in his second year, even though he get Defensive Player of the Year votes, man, did he get bullied. Even that Julius Randle was shooting like ass this season. Oh, he always shoots like ass in the playoffs. But he was dominating. He was dominating the hell out of that man. And I've never seen somebody get their lunch money taken as much as Jared Allen. It's not even a huge size difference. I think he's bigger than Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell just.
He's not. Well, I'm going off of ESPN.com. ESPN has Jared Allen at 6'9". Mitchell Robinson is a 7-footer.
Well,
yeah, I'm going off of ESPN.
I was going to say W stat site, but that Jared Allen's 6'11". I'm pretty confident. So I think
maybe with shoes. I don't know. Who knows? They lie all the time about their freaking height and weight.
The Cavs just didn't have an answer for anybody on defense, because the moment if you have a good perimeter defender on the floor, he can't produce offensively. And you throw him on Jalen Brunson, now RJ Barrett is going down on one of your guards because they can't guard him either. Neither of these teams shot well from three, but the Cavs really just couldn't hit a shot. Everything about the Cavs this season, they're the slowest team in the league, so they cherish every single offensive possession in the half court. And when you're missing threes like that, that's a problem because you're not pushing the pace. You have a limited amount of possession. You need to take care of every single one, and they couldn't. You're the number two defense in the league, but it shows that. But this shows again, why you being a top defense but have schematic problems is always going to be a big issue. You don't have the versatility. You don't have the wing depth. It's just too much. It's too much to overlook sometimes. So I think. Now, this is just a big black mark on the Cavs in a sense that you are nowhere where we thought you actually were. And since you've given up so many picks for Donovan Mitchell, you don't Isaac Okoro is your only real asset right now with how Jared Allen's playing. I don't know if I still want him on this team like this, but you don't really have much avenues to make this team better because there's not many. The teams that have those type of wings that you would need, not only cherish them to the point where you're not even going to see them unless you throw them a young player and like 5 picks. You don't have the draft capital anymore to even go look in the draft to go pick one of those guys up. So right now, I think even though you're really young, you have a lot of decisions to make on this roster. Like, is it worth it having 2 guards in the backcourt that can't defend and sometimes are up and down offensively? Is Jared Allen really the 5 that you want? How can you mitigate this problem at your 3 spot?
Well, I'll speak on it. I mean, in terms of the Cavs, I think you hit it. They're a young team. Garland's 23. I don't know how old Mobley is. What is he, 21, 22?
21.
In terms of Mobley, the guy just needs to hit the weight room and eat more. And he's young, and he'll build into his NBA, his grown man body. Listen, he's like 215 right now. He can get up there. In terms of Allen, it's just he's grown. He's grown into his grown
like
man
a child.
Body. Yeah,
that was inexplicable. The things done.
Mitchell Robinson absolutely dominated 2 men, and those 2 guys should be embarrassed. But yeah, in terms of the Cavs, they're young. Garland's 23. He's going to take from this, and as long as he takes from this and learns from it and gets better. He's 23. He's so good right now. If he just continues to get better, they'll be fine. Mobley obviously taking the steps necessary. He's already great defensively. Just needs to add the size and weight to him, and it'll prove even more. And he won't be dominated like Mitchell against Mitchell Robinson and Julius, where he's just being treated like a child, like you guys said. And and he's got to develop an offensive game. That just comes with time. So I'm not too worried about the Cavs. They're kind of exactly where I put them. I think before the season I had them because I had Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and I had Miami as better teams than them, and then I had Cavs better than the Knicks. So they're right there with the Knicks. They're the 5th best team in the East, 4th or 5th best team in the East. So yeah, they'll take as long as they take from this and learn from it, they should get better. But yeah, shout out to the Knicks. I didn't get to speak on it, but listen, I said it after game 1, I believe it was, when me and John talked. I said if the Cavs bench doesn't get their shit together, this could be a quick series. I think I said it could end in 5 for the Knicks. So with the Knicks, I said I underestimated their bench. They've got I only said the best bench in the NBA. I think that's a little much, but they do have a top tier bench, especially left in the playoffs.